Hello and welcome to yet another exciting episode of Know Your Faith series with the Society of St. Paul. Today, being the 30th of June, is indeed a great day for the Paulines all over the world. It is because we celebrate our father, our model, and our teacher, St. Paul the Apostle. With me here is Father Desmond Shinshima, SSP. Father is here to buttress the fact why is St. Paul called an apostle. Father, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. It is a great honor and privilege that you are giving to me to speak on the person of St. Paul. As you know, St. Paul is very important to us who are the members of the Society of St. Paul. So why is Paul called an apostle? In the first instance, in the Gospels, we are introduced to the 12 apostles. These are 12 disciples that were uniquely chosen. They were given special authority and were present during the majority of the events in the Gospels. They were entrusted with the carrying on of the teachings of Christ. The 12 apostles hold a special significance in the Christian life or Christendom as a whole. In Matthew 10, verse 12, we have the names of the apostles, and Paul is not one of them. So why do we regard Paul as an apostle? Paul was not among the 12 disciples from the beginning. He was not actually a part of the disciples, and he wasn't present for the events or the teachings of the Gospels. He asserts that he is an apostle specifically to the Gentiles. Paul explains his background and his relationship to the apostles in Galatians chapter 1 from verse 15 to 20, where he says he did not receive his apostleship or his teachings from any man but from Christ, through a unique revelation on his way to Damascus. So, what makes someone an apostle? An apostle is one who has a call to plant and oversee churches. It refers to an individual who has spiritual sons in the ministry. He is one who is recognized by other apostles and meets the biblical qualification of an elder. He is one who is called by Christ to be his disciple, and then he is sent to be a witness to Christ. Paul fits into this description and is rightly an apostle. Paul's claim to apostleship is very important because it is what gives him the authority and credibility to teach. I would say yes. Paul would have used the means of communication relevant to the man of today. We can intuit this from the way and manner he carried out his mission. Paul was a man of his time. He made use of the verbal means of communication that was prevalent in his day. He made use of the pathways and seas, which were the principal means of communication during his time. Writing was also an effective means of communication. So he wrote various letters to different communities, exhorting them to live after the example of Christ. Today, the majority of persons seem to be present on social media. Thus, we can say that if Paul were to be alive today, he will preach to the man of today. He will use this media for the propagation of the faith. He would have been a journalist. As a Pauline, I am also called to become St. Paul alive today by making use of the means of communication that are effective today at the service of the gospel.
Thank you, Father Desmond, for this beautiful insight you've given to us through the person of St. Paul,
You're welcome.
the Apostle.